For in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Forgive our debtors as we forgive our debts. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive our trespassers. Our trespassers as we forgive our trespasses. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Jesus, in your name I pray for a very productive live stream. We'll get the work in, and we do it from a very peaceful and beautiful state. Okay, so for today's live stream, we don't need to be sitting, we can be working. So when you're finished, we're gonna set up, and we're gonna go over like the material. So I'm gonna prepare the stuff. I'm gonna prepare everything, and we're gonna use ChatGPT to accelerate the script development process. And yeah, that'll be it. Like we're gonna do 20, the 20 that we said that we would do from last week, and those will be the shorts. And again, it's designed to be as quick as possible, right? It's not like we're trying to be, Picasso. We're just trying to get the work out there, because at some point, yeah, it's the same process, right? Like just post, that's the process we're going through, and then eventually we'll evolve that again. So just post in this instance is going to be us like looking at like are the scripts on brand with what we're doing, right? So are all the scripts and all the content that we're creating tying back into purpose? That's basically it. And we want to basically just treat every piece of content as like a small investment into the long term, so that like when we get back to the point of I don't know, 5-10 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever years from now, every single piece of content that we have created ultimately emphasizes and reestablishes we are a company that helps people awaken their purpose, activate their purpose, execute their purpose, whatever that is. We are the go-to company for life purpose, Dharma fulfillment. We are that. And every piece of content has to add up to that. So that's what we're basically going to be working on today. And as soon as you're done with him, like we're going to set up, I don't know if there's going to be a bright enough lighting here. But this is now what I'm going to test. I'm going to test now to see if, we're going to use that smartphone. We're going to see if we can use these lights, and we're going to use the green screen. And if that doesn't work, then we'll put the green screen towards here so that you're in front of the light. We'll open up the window and we'll lift up the shutters so that hopefully you have enough light. If that doesn't work, and if that doesn't give you enough light, then we may just need to go outside, okay? But either which way, I'm going to need to take Regis, and we're going to need to, I'm going to probably need to leave the room, and then you're going to have to just piece it together. We'll go through a couple of dry runs so we get an idea of what we're looking to accomplish, and then after that, you record the 20, okay? So I'm going to get set up, you finish feeding him, and then we continue on from there, all right? What do you got for this blessed, holy, and sacred smoothie? Bless this holy smoothie from our grace. That's good. May this holy smoothie hydrate and nourish me on deep soul, loved ones. And when you're officially ready, I'll turn on the live stream for live purpose. Okay, notion. Mm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. It was there. Mm. SOC production hub. Yeah. Let's actually screen share this. We're gonna screen share this. So this is how I think of the process. I think of the process as all right, publish this one, and the life purpose of a healer we also publish too, which means today is the next one. Mm. Mm-hmm. There you go. And then eventually you could do something to where like you can start doing like the videos again where you're like outside in nature and you're talking about purpose, but you should have like a script of some sort to like keep you or like have an idea of what you want to talk about, so have like some sort of like theme and or like right, that's another thing too. What we can also do as well for creating shorts is we generate thousands of questions, and each question you answer, and that's a piece of content.
I can also ask the people directly who follow me on TikTok, for example, if they have questions
Yeah, yeah.
and use them.
Yeah, or you can even ask ChatGPT, hey, research what most people are asking about with their purpose. How do I make money from my purpose? That's probably one of the biggest ones. But yeah, as long as we hit some of those basic ones, we'll be all right. So after you feed him, again, gather your what's the word I'm looking for? Like your costumes, hats, glasses,
Okay.
your your tiara, your crystal headband.
Just random things right now?
Yeah, clothes, etc., etc.
Okay. Are you done, baby? St. Regis is done for now.
All right, we got to burp him. Let's burp him, just in case.
Okay.
So get like hats, get glasses, get another shirt, like other shirts and stuff like this. You could even use my shirts, my
Yeah.
sweaters,
Or your poncho.
poncho. Yeah, there we go. Good, Regis. Okay, boy. Yep, exactly.
Where can I place all of these?
Off to the side. Let's change the screen as well. So,
Got some sunglasses over here. I think we can start working with this for now.
yeah,
And your poncho.
yeah. Take the
If I
poncho.
need anything else, I'll just get it from the wardrobe.
Let's see what you got. You got here a scarf. You got the shaman bag. You got this scarf too. All right, so you got a couple of things that you can use, right? All right, so what we're gonna do is we gotta clip this onto you. Just put it. Yeah, let's put it like here or something for now. All right, that's good enough. All right, so that's your mic, right? At least for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go here to deep work here, and we're gonna open up. Sorry, I don't think this. Ah, here we go. Ah, here we go. Okay, so this was the previous week's. This was the previous week's content. Right, this is what we're doing last week, and let's see here. Yeah, so if this is what we were doing last week, I think the way that we should set this up is, yeah, I'm gonna have to probably move this. Let's see if I can move this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the phone, so we're gonna have to remove the receiver. Oh, right. Let's also get the stream going for lifepurpose.com here. I just come to say how much I care. Mm-hmm. Just say. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we are. We should be streaming officially to both channels now. Okay, good. Next is let's go back to OBS. So as we were talking about and as we left off with today's stream, we're going to do the batch recording of the content for the life purpose of a shaman long form. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically just like play around with the different skit variations. So last week we had these skits that we had printed. And now this week we're working on the next set. Okay? So
Oh, I need to get a dragon outfit. That just came to me.
yeah, go to Selpy. Go to Selpy and get yourself some costumes. Hold on a second. I gotta set up the other mic here. Can you help me?
Yeah.
I just need you to get the cord over the computer. Yep, there you go. Okay. Let's figure this one out here. Right. That's another costume here.
When was the last time you watched that? Yeah.
Crooked. Look. Look.
Move?
Yeah.
Oh.
How did that happen? Alright. We can officially keep this on video. Try not to touch it. Just leave it as is, alright?
His legs look like they don't get enough blood flow.
I don't know what to tell you, Emma.
Maybe just here and there, like lift him up a little bit.
for this to work, we need really good lights. I don't know if this is going to be good enough, but let's see. Yes, actually, this is how you can help me. Can you either take these kettlebells, or can you hold this and I take the kettlebells? Okay, you can put it down now. Okay, this might be slightly problematic if we only have one light source. Not enough extension here. Or maybe, spoke too soon. Might have spoken too soon. That's doable. Okay, so the idea behind this now is this would be the setup. Obviously, we're creating shorts. So for the shorts, we have to think vertical aspect ratio. So 9:16. And the best way to do it is just to do it on mobile. We record the A roll on mobile and then we transfer it over to the computer. And then what we do is we're standing. She's gonna stand in front of the chroma key, the green screen chroma key, because obviously the thing about YouTube and other social media platforms is that they have an anti-spamming policy. And so if the content looks repetitive, what winds up happening is, it won't get the distribution, it won't get the reach. And I've seen that with posting consistently or posting multiple times a day. If it has a very similar format to it, then it won't get the reach. And I've done that. Like I've taken like a long form of a workout on my other channel, and then I clipped it into shorts. And then after I clipped it into shorts and I distributed it, I gave it like 2, 3, 4 hours each. But then what wound up happening was it didn't get the reach. So this is something we have to be very, very, very mindful of. Anyway, moving forward, this is what we're going to be doing. Let's do another test here. Here's what I need you to do. Hold the top of that if you can. Okay, you need to reach for it. Hold on a second. How close can you be to this right here? Hold on. Actually, can we put it down? Let's slide this back just a little bit.
Pretty bright.
Yeah. So it's gonna be very bright for sure. So if you stand here, does it change anything? Maybe colder. Yeah. Colder, colder, colder. Okay, so if we're here, so I would have to move up to the screen, like right over here. Hold on a second. Right. Right. And then think of what that's gonna happen when we zoom in. Oop. Higher. Hmm. Hmm. Yep, yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. All right. So just think that whenever you're recording, you gotta be like this, right? Because this is only but so high, and we have to make it work with what we have. So we're gonna be thinking it's gonna be like this. That's pretty good, actually. What do you think?
Yeah.
Right? Because we gotta cover and we gotta make sure that the green screen covers you, whatever.
Yeah.
Can you step back like just a tiny bit? Move up. One thing here is I don't want like, you know, necessarily like the emphasis on your breasts, you know. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that should be all right. That should be all right. Okay, let's see. Next one. I know that it's very bright, but it's bright for a reason.
Oh, this is much. This makes it brighter, doesn't it? The other one you had.
Yeah, hold on a second. Here, I invite you to use this and test out these. So you're testing out this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one.
What, 20, 50, 100?
20, 50, 100, and then the different temperatures.
Okay,
So,
this one is pretty good.
so temperature on the
Okay.
warm makes it warmer, right? But you can decrease it to 20. Temperature on the cold is different.
This one I think is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our internal purposes, this is going to be like the setup. Hema's got her official. She's got her official green screen set up, and the camera is a simple as smartphone, front facing view. Very, very simple. The main thing is the audio, and we can work with the green screen. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have to now then use my phone as the script, because, and you're going to have to speak it line by line because you're not going to be able to see can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let's see if you can read the lines here. Can you read these lines?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so read this.
The only thing is you would have to move the microphone a little bit. That one, yeah. Yes. Why healing always begins with truth. Healing isn't pretending everything is okay.
Better?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's finally being honest about what isn't. One of the traditional roles of a shaman was helping people face what had been hidden. Not to shame them, but to free them. Because what stays buried often stays in control. And sometimes truth is the first medicine. What stays buried often stays in control. Okay?
Okay. So let's. Okay, here, I have an idea. Pockets. Okay, here's what I'm thinking as a change around. So what I'm thinking as a change around, because obviously you're gonna have to, for those kinds of shorts, you're gonna have to look at the camera. Okay. For actual skits, you're gonna be off camera, right? So you're gonna be off center. You're not gonna be looking at the camera. So what I think is, like, for example, take the phone, right? You can, so it depends on you and how you want to do it. But what I would imagine for like a thing like this, if you move over to the side, so what I would be like doing is I would say I would read my line, and so if my line was so no explosions, I'd be like, so explosions, magic lasers, or you can read from here. So explosions, magic lasers. So I don't know how you want to read. Do you want to read from the phone?
So would you have to cut?
Yeah, I would have to cut everything, which is fine.
Okay.
But that's also why we're gonna do one take, and we're gonna make it the simplest take possible, right? So for the ones where it's like this one, the why healing always begins with truth. Healing isn't pretending everything is okay. You're still gonna have to look into the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So you're gonna read the line, and then you're gonna speak it. Read the line and speak it. Read the line and speak it.
Okay, so are you saying read it silently from the screen and then
speak it
and then speak it?
Yeah. Look at the camera.
Okay.
Right? So like if I was doing this, if I was you and I was in front of the camera, right? So I'd be like here. Healing isn't pretending everything is going to be okay. It's finally being honest about what isn't. So you're gonna have to read and memorize, and then
the next sentence.
Yeah. So
Okay. Wouldn't, like, if the camera is here anyway, and I have my eyes behind the camera, wouldn't that also work?
I don't know.
I may not look which may not make a difference when you actually see the short video.
Yeah, but even still, when it comes to the skits, you're gonna be off center, so you're still gonna have to read the line and then speak it, right?
Okay.
Read the line and then speak it. Read the line and then speak it.
Okay.
So I don't know how you want to do it, but that's why I'm suggesting the phone because it's easier to just read it. But I can
Well,
also.
what if I have the phone? Like if you turn on the video here from this phone. So would it make sense if I read from the phone and I have the phone here and then I read it right away?
Sure. Or
Should we try this?
Sure. Or what I can do is I can move the computer monitor closer.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it depends. How do you want to do it? Because I know you don't like having touching the phone necessarily. So what we're doing right now, just
we're trying out.
Yeah, we're making sure that we have the right workflow so that way we can do this continuously.
Well, what comes to me is put the computer screen closer, and it may just be possible for me to read from the computer screen without having to read, memorize.
Okay.
We can try this
Let's try that.
and see if it works.
Okay, so what we were just talking about was in terms of the how we're going to actually do this, the workflow, right? So creating shorts, we're not here to spend so much time recording the A-roll. It's a quick process because shorts have such a short shelf life. We need to be thinking, okay, how can I just have like a feed of content that I can just distribute over and over and over and over again with as little effort as possible, because I don't know if it's going to take off or not. And to put in a whole bunch of effort for a short that only may live and get traction or viewership for 48 hours or 24 hours maximum is not worth it. So we need to think about how can we do this as fast as possible and as efficiently as possible. And we generated the scripts with ChatGPT. We already have our brand compass. We already know that every single piece of content has to align to lifepurpose.com, what we're trying to accomplish in the future, et cetera, et cetera. And then the content has to be able to, whenever Hema speaks her lines, that's when she can put her soul, her essence into what she's saying, right? She doesn't want to be like a robot, like reading a script line. She wants to be like a Hollywood actor or Hollywood actress and read her lines with emotion, with gusto, etc. So we're just figuring out right now the workflow to make that possible. So I'm going to move this monitor over, and for future live streams, if we ever need to revisit, we can look at this specific live stream and then we can see the setup. So the setup is really simple. We have two softboxes. So softbox 1, softbox 2, they're on opposite ends. They're close to her. We have a green screen. It's very short, unfortunately, but this will have to do for right now. And we have a smartphone, and it's in portrait mode, and that'll make it easy to just create the content without having to change the aspect ratio. So this is what we're doing here. Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that still okay?
Yeah.
Can you read it?
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got this microphone stand. This actually was worth it. Okay. Okay, so for example, can you read this?
Yes.
Okay.
Easy. While my face is directly facing the phone camera. So I think that could work.
No. So this is off camera. So your two characters. So we have to understand this and keep this in mind.
Oh, this one is 2 characters, right?
Right. So in this scenario, let me actually put up the screen because this is actually good for you to understand. Is okay. So this is a script called "Things a Fake Shaman Would Say." Things a fake shaman would say, and the whole idea behind this is okay. Can I actually let me see if I can pull this back up? There we go. So for whoa. So for things a fake shaman would say, you're 2 characters, okay? So if you're 2 distinct characters, you would need for you to have one costume and then the second character to have a different costume. It's still you, obviously, but you're portraying that you have a different character, okay? So you're not going to be facing the camera in these skits. You're going to be facing off camera. Imagine so you're going to look over here and you're going to position your body over here. Okay, so you're going to face this direction of this corner of the softbox, because when you do, what you're doing basically is you're simulating that you're a different character. Okay, so if you go in that direction, you would have to look to the left, read your line still regardless, and then look to the softbox and then speak your line. Okay, so that's how I would imagine that working. So.
But the others, where I look straight, I can just look straight.
Yes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna guide you through this how I understand it going, so that you can see, because I've seen it visually, like it just in my third eye, and you're gonna just see how you understand it, right? And if it makes sense, then you continue, unless you have a better workflow, unless you have a better way of doing it. Otherwise, this will be how I think. And if you're the shaman, right? Like you can have your glasses off. Okay? You can have your glasses off. You can be Hema. This can be the shaman. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And the way that I would do this for this one is, if you're the shaman, if you're character 1, read all your lines first with your shaman hat.
Oh.
Okay? And then character 2, read all the lines without the shaman hat, because when I edit it in post, I'm just going to put it together. You get what I'm saying? That's going to be easier for all of us, I think, and easier for you because you change the outfit, right? That wouldn't make sense, right? So that's why I'm suggesting it, because I've already been playing around with it with the little skits that I was doing, and I was thinking, oh God, this is really inefficient. Better to have.
Just an idea.
Yeah, but still with a baby, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, let's do some warm up, okay? So the warm up we'll do is
Pass me that.
okay. Here we go. So we're going to start with the life purpose of a shaman isn't what most people think. Okay? All right. This is unfortunately is the most that I can zoom out. Can you see everything okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, good. So what we're going to do from here is you're going to record that first piece of content. The life purpose of a shaman isn't what most people think. This is talking head. So you're going to be looking directly at the camera. All right. So remember, read the line and then speak the line. Read the line, then speak the line. Okay.
Okay, so my idea was to, if it's just the talking head, I can just read it from the screen because it's right in front of me, and I don't think that you would see a difference whether I face the phone or I face slightly behind the phone.
Let's do one take, see how that looks in post, and then we can decide here.
Okay.
Because I think it may be better that you read the line and then you speak the line, read the line, speak the line, so that way it looks like you're actually, and also make sure you're in censor. Okay. And it's okay. It's okay to show the microphone.
Can my hair be above the microphone and still work?
Sure, you can. Yeah, you can even do it like this. You know, like there's a lot of people that they're on the microphones and they make it obvious that they're on the microphones.
No.
You know, so it's up to you how you want to do it. You could even, yeah, you could do it like this, whatever. You don't have to pretend that you're not using a microphone. You know, it's fine. Okay. However you want to do it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do the first take, and you're gonna read it just like how you do it. Remember, energy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or however you want to do it. You do it however you want to do it. Whatever your essence is. And step back a bit. Okay. And whenever you're ready, hit the record.
I'm also gonna mention the headline.
No.
No, right? Okay.
You're just gonna
I start with the script.
actually, yeah, read the title and then read the lines.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. The life purpose of a shaman is not what most people think. Most people think a shaman's purpose is to perform rituals or mystical ceremonies, but that is only the surface. The deeper purpose of a shaman is to help people return back to balance. Balance between body and mind and spirit, between person and nature, and between suffering and healing. The rituals may look different from culture to culture, but the mission and the purpose is remarkably similar. It's about helping and assisting someone remember the part of themselves that never needed fixing in the first place.
Okay, stop it. Okay, now let's review it.
Mm-hmm. The life purpose of a shaman is not what most people think. Most people think a shaman's purpose is to perform rituals or mystical ceremonies, but that is only the surface.
Man, you read that so
The
pretty.
deeper purpose of a shaman is to help people return back to balance. Balance between body and mind and spirit, between person and nature. I think this looks fine. And between suffering and healing. The rituals may look different from culture to culture, but the mission and the purpose is remarkably similar. It's about helping and assisting someone remember the part of themselves that never needed fixing in the first place.
That's good. That's a good job.
What also comes to me is, instead of having the script above the phone, we can have the script slightly to the right, and I can read like that too.
How do you? I think how you did it was just fine.
Yeah.
How you did it was like perfect. Because again, the eye thing is also a thing too. Okay, but also too, what I'm gonna. So we just did the first take. Okay, and it seems to be pretty good. So now the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna continue on with that format. So if it's a talking head format, Hema is looking at the monitor and she's speaking into the camera. We record the A roll, maybe we record some B roll and some soft music, and then we just have something very simple like that. When it comes to a skit, and if we're doing multi-character content shorts, she's gonna have to look off camera, look at the monitor, read her lines, and cultivate whatever she needs to cultivate from there. But either which way, it's on brand because it's still relating back to purpose, right? So we can create so many pieces of content off of this. So now that we've gone through that, let's continue on. Okay, so let's go with number 2. So remember, you're responsible for hitting the record and hitting the stop, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So
and
we're gonna continue with me just reading.
look up. Look to the monitor. Look to the eye camera here. Look to the monitor. Eye camera. Monitor. Yeah.
It's not a big difference, right?
Not really a big difference, no. Okay. All right. And so this is a hack for anyone. This is, I think, honestly, a hack for anyone. Just have the right workflow and have the right tools to speed up the process. That's really what it comes down to. And like in terms of creating content, don't create content. Just literally base it off of what you do and ask ChatGPT, ask AI to write the scripts for you in many, many different variations. You still know what you're talking about, obviously, but getting like people in the door to know who you are, you have to adapt to what the market is responding to. And if the market is responding to, educational content, then create educational content. If it's responding to entertainment, create entertainment content. It's really, really simple. The idea is not to get stuck into just I only do long form content or I only do live streams. It may take some time to find your flow, but once you get your flow going, you can then refine from there. But for right now, we're in the stage of, we don't know what the market is going to respond to, and we're basically starting from scratch all over again. So this is where we are with this. So for the next one, exactly. Now you put a piece of glasses, exactly.
Can you put this slightly down, like that much?
Okay, so 1 second. So if you want to move this, right? Keep this exactly as it is. All we gotta do is just change these pieces. So here, put your hand on here. Yep. Okay. You can put this up. You can put this down.
So this is already the lowest.
No, it's not the only one. So now here, you want to hold this and then twist this. Keep twisting it.
Okay.
And then put it up or down. And you figure out how you want to do it. Okay. And also too, if you want to do this.
Oh, but with the glasses you can see the monitor.
Yeah, so don't use the glasses then. Use something else. Right? Or if you're gonna do that, use it for face this, the softbox. Yeah, you probably don't want to use the glasses. All right. So think about other things that you can use. You can use the hat. You have a white hat. Yeah, you have a feather. You have the sage stick. Right. So you figure out how you want to express that piece of content. Okay. You can use your tiara.
No, I'm just gonna use this now.
Okay. However you want to do it. Okay. Now you record when you record and
What a shaman actually does. If someone asked you what a shaman does, what would you say? Magic, plant medicine, healing? Those can all be part of the role of a shaman. But at its core, a shaman helps people navigate deep emotional, spiritual, and sometimes physical imbalances. Think of them less as someone who gives answers and more as someone who helps people reconnect with themselves at their core. That's a very different role than most people imagine.
good. That's very, very good. So that's already 2 pieces of content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just check with the eye. Okay, this one is not so good because you can see I'm looking way more up.
Yeah. So
Because I mean,
yeah, no, no good, no good. So
not good because I'm not looking directly at the camera.
yeah,
I think it's still fine.
do another take.
Yeah, okay. What a shaman actually does. If someone asked you what a shaman really does, what would you say? Magic, plant medicine, healing, those can all be part of the role. But at its core, a shaman helps people navigate deep emotional, spiritual, and sometimes physical imbalances. Think of them less as someone who gives answers and more as someone who helps people reconnect with themselves. That's a very different role than most people imagine.
Question: why were you on your tiptoes?
To read the script. But I could have also just gone a little bit to the right.
Okay, hold on a second. Is this? Hold on a second.
What a shaman actually does.
No, 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 no.
If someone
If you're gonna look at the screen, always look at the screen, okay?
Oh, just yeah.
Just always look at the screen.
Don't look at the camera.
Never look at the camera at all. Just look. The first one you did was way better. The first one.
But I think you just deleted the first.
No, I didn't. It's just here. This is your first one.
Like a very first shaman is not what most people think.
This is fine.
Most people think yeah, because I have my eyes straight, I don't move them.
Rituals or yeah, exactly.
Ceremonies. Okay, and let's do more like that. That is
okay.
Only the surface.
And then look at where you are here with this one.
What a shaman actually does. If someone asked you what a shaman does, what would you say?
Yeah, you could definitely, and when you do the squinting eye thing, you can definitely
what
tell.
What a shaman actually does. If someone asked you what a shaman really does, what would you say? Magic, plant medicine.
And I think honestly, this format is the simplest. So I don't know if you want to keep the feather thing or not. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I think that it would just be way more efficient to just change like your clothes or something like this or whatever. And even still, too, we're gonna change the background and we're gonna put B-roll overlay and music. So it'll be like a very different piece of content regardless.
Okay, well, give me the hat.
The hat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you figure out how you want to do it from there. But how you did it the first time, where you just looked at the screen, was the best one. And you don't even have to use the hat. You know, you can use the hat for like for skits or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's better.
Yeah, just be. No need to perform. You know, skits are for performance.
Okay. So doing this one again?
Yeah.
What a shaman actually does. If someone asked you what a shaman really does, what would you say? Magic, plant medicine, healing, those can all be a part of the role. But at its core, a shaman helps people navigate deep emotional, spiritual, and sometimes physical imbalances. Think of them less as someone who gives answers and more as someone who helps people reconnect with their truth. That's a very different role than what most people imagine.
Okay, let's see the playback on this one.
Actually does.
Way better.
If someone asked you what a shaman really does, what would you say? Magic, plant medicine.
That's perfect.
Yeah, this one is good.
That's good.
Those can
That's
all
plenty.
be part
That's plenty. Okay. All right. So we just created some different variations to see the difference, and it's just much better that she's just natural, speaking in front of the camera, and just literally reading the script. not even looking at the camera, not looking back and forth. Just read the script. All right, so that's all you have to do. Okay, so just keep your eyes on the computer monitor.
The shaman actually does.
Yeah, that's good.
And I like that I look slightly up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that looks fine.
It looks good. It looks great. It looks really good. Can you see? You can read the monitor, okay, and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm just wondering for the green screen, would it make more sense if there is more of the green screen visible by me standing more at the back
No, because
versus
we got
me
shadows.
versus me? I'm basically covering the entire camera. You barely have anything of the green screen.
Yeah, that's the point.
Okay.
That's the point.
Okay.
Because what winds up happening is if you go too far back, you get the shadows. Okay, and then the shadows will distort your green screen. So we need to make sure that it's bright enough and we don't have the shadows. That's why we are doing it in the way that we're doing it. Okay, so it's better to come up forward, like right, yeah, and then just be centered, and then that's it.
Okay.
Okay, you could take us maybe another step back, and a little bit more to the left, a little bit more to the right. There you go. Make sure your shoulders are in the camera.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Done. Read the screen. Read the lines as if you're doing it.
Most people completely misunderstand shamans. Hollywood.
Perfect. Perfect. Because I can now see your eyes. Do it one more time.
Yeah. It's just like I can clearly see the first part of the screen, but when it comes to the lower part, I would have to move slightly to the right or to the left.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me put this on Notion then.
Like the higher up it is on the screen, I think the better it is.
Hold on. Most people complete. Okay, this is the script, right? Can you read that?
Yeah.
Better or worse?
No, it's the same. I'm just saying put it higher up, not necessarily zoom it in. No. I mean, sorry, scroll up. Scroll
Okay,
up.
okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. Go back to where you were.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, I understand. Okay,
Yeah, that's better.
let's try it again. Read it.
Should I start recording?
No. Just read it.
Okay. Most people completely misunderstand shamans. Hollywood made the word shaman sound mysterious.
Okay, good. Perfect. All right. So I may have to now leave the room because he's getting a bit more fidgety, right? And we don't want to have to keep doing this all over again, and then
Yeah.
So the best thing that I think is to just say, okay, here's how we're gonna do this. You record the piece of content. This is what you're doing. Okay. You read it and then you scroll down. You read it, you scroll down. It's a new piece of content, okay? All right.
Just okay.
Do the first 10. Okay, and then we get to scripts. When you get to skits, let me know. All right. So here we are. I'm gonna leave. All right. You gotta do it, right? But remember, you're looking at it a specific way. And the specific way is to make sure that it's the way that you're doing it is. Sorry, you don't even need this now. Should I move this even to the left? I think it's. Read it.
Yeah, a little bit. Move it a little bit to the left.
Read.
Most people completely misunderstand shamans.
Okay, hold on.
Most people completely misunderstand shamans.
Nope, you look off. Again.
I would still have to go slightly to the left or to the right.
Okay, how about we just do this? Can we do that?
Let's see.
Nope.
I mean, the way we had it earlier, that worked.
Yeah. Come back. Center. Okay. And go.
Most people completely misunderstand shamans.
A little bit more to the left.
Hollywood made the word shaman sound mysterious.
Yeah, good. Good. Okay, so you already know. Okay, so record it, and then you scroll to the next one and get to number 10.
So record, stop, go to the next one.
Yeah, get to
Okay.
number 10.
Okay.
Okay. Do number 10, and then I'll come. You let me know, all right? And I come back.
Okay. Let's do this. Come on. Most people completely misunderstand shamans. Hollywood made the word shaman sound very mysterious. The reality is usually much quieter. Across many traditions, a shaman was not famous. They were not trying to build an audience. They served their community. They spent years learning, observing nature, and carrying responsibility. The role was never about looking spiritual. It was about serving people when they needed it the most. The real gift of a shaman. The greatest gift of a shaman is not seeing visions. It's not about the ceremonies. It's not even about the healing. The greatest gift of a shaman is to help someone see what they couldn't see on their own. Sometimes that may be fear, grief, and sometimes it may even be a belief that they have carried for decades. And real healing often begins the moment someone finally sees the truth. Why shamans walk into darkness? Most people spend their lives avoiding uncomfortable places. Shamans intentionally go towards them, not because they enjoy the darkness, but because healing usually begins there. Whether it's grief, trauma, fear, or emotional pain, someone has to be willing to go there and sit with it and be with it. And that is one of the reasons this role of the shaman has existed for thousands of years. A shaman does not heal you, they help you heal yourself. Here's one of the biggest misconceptions about shamans. People think that the shaman does all the healing for them, but many traditions see it differently. The shaman creates the conditions, and the healing still has to happen within you. No one can do your inner work for you. A guide can walk beside you, but they cannot walk the path for you. Why the world still needs shamans. You might think shamans belong in the past, but think about what people are searching for today. They're searching for meaning, for connection, for healing, and for purpose. And those human needs have not changed. The tools may look different, but the need for people who help others reconnect with themselves has never disappeared. The hidden purpose behind every shaman. If you stripped away every ceremony, every tradition, every title, what would be left? Service. And that's the thread running through nearly every understanding of the shaman. Not power, not recognition, service. And everything else grows from that. What if you are drawn to shamans for a reason? Have you on sorry, delete this one. What if you are drawn to shamans for a much bigger reason? Have you ever wondered why certain archetypes fascinate you? Not because you want to become one necessarily, but because you can't stop learning about them. Sometimes we are drawn to an archetype because it reflects something that we value deeply: healing, nature, wisdom, service. And the attraction itself can become a clue about what matters most to you. Why true healing always begins with truth. Healing is not about pretending everything is okay. It's about finally being honest about what isn't. And one of the traditional roles of a shaman was helping people face what had been hidden. Not to shame them, but to free them. Because what stays buried often stays in control of your life. And sometimes truth is the first most potent medicine. I'm done. Gabriel?
How'd it go?
Oh, were you in the house the whole time?
No, I walked.
Oh, okay. Did you receive my message on Signal that I'm done?
No,
You don't receive it on the watch?
no, because I don't have internet.
Oh, okay,
So I don't
okay.
have a phone. Okay, so you finished.
Yeah,
When did you finish?
like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, cool. So look at that.
Did you hear me call you?
I think I did.
Okay.
I honestly think I did. Okay, so you just created 10 pieces of come over here so we can talk and document this. All right, Hamza, so you just created 10 pieces of content. How is that workflow for you?
Very easy.
Why?
Because you prepared it all for me.
And that's exactly why we want to hire someone to do that.
That's why we want to hire someone like you.
No, I am not a fucking content creator. That is not. No, we're going to hire someone that can do this. And we just basically give them the working procedures and the system, and they prepare the content and all that stuff. And then you just show up and you just speak the lines. That's exactly, I guarantee you, that is exactly what top creators are doing. They're either speaking off the top of the head based on their experience, their expertise, and their knowledge, or they are using a prompter. They're using scripts. They're not just going and just saying, oh, I'm just going to create a piece of content. What am I going to create on? No, So that's why we're doing this. So you just created 10 pieces of content. And how long do you think that took you?
I think less than 10 minutes for sure.
Exactly. Less than 10 minutes, 10 pieces of content. And this is what I'm talking about. As I was going for the walk just now, I actually thought to myself, yes, this is actually how we're going to create variations of even the same piece of content, different hook, different wording, same output, same payout for every single piece. So not only would you have content for lifepurpose.com, you would also have content for Hema Almond brand. You'd also have content for Gabriel Sarah brand, all tying back to the same exact thing. Even with lifepurpose.com, eventually what we want to do is we want to hire people to be the camera person, to be the person that's on screen. We want to hire a couple of people to literally just create the A role, like actors, that can just literally speak the A role, because it's all about the branding stuff.
Yeah, and also speak about their purpose.
Sure.
Perhaps.
Either which way, it doesn't matter. But this is how we create content. So the whole idea of like, what am I going to say or whatever, that's bullshit. That's an excuse. That's a psychological thing. That has nothing to do with actually executing it, because we just proved it right now.
No, it just makes me think about the people that we do our online gatherings with. I would be interested in what they're doing by watching some of their content if it was available.
And that's why I also have set it up this way, because once you know your compass, once you know your whole thing, what's your theme, what's your brand about, and that's also why it's also good to have a actual business, so that way you can articulate the mission of the business and what it does. And we've gotten to this point where, this is what it does. There's nothing else. We're not selling a product. We're a media company. We're investing into people's purpose. It's just as simple. So once you have that, once you have all those pieces, super easy, now you create your content. And you said it took you less than 10 minutes for 10 shorts. You didn't have to think about what the script is. We don't care about perfection. Maybe we can engineer a GPT in the future to have better prompting and have better script output. That's fine, but this is more than enough for right now.
Yeah.
How would you have rated the script quality as well?
I think the script quality was pretty good. It sounded genuine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
It's not like the first time we did the cringe.
the shrink.
The shrink. Yeah, the shrink was not genuine, but this is now more genuine.
Exactly. So, and this is what's going to happen after a while. So this is why I kept emphasizing over the last months, creating content is not special anymore. It's like a baseline thing, like how back maybe 40, 50 years ago, being a typist, being someone that can actually type on the computer was an actual career.
Wow.
And people got paid to actually type. Now it's like
the scribes.
Yeah. Now typing is just you're expected to learn how to type, right? And that's the same thing with content. You're expected to learn how to create content. It's just expected of you, And so the same thing with AI. Right now, AI is like, oh, you know how to create GPTs, you know how to create models, you know how to create systems. Okay, fine. But in the future, it's not even going to be the special thing anymore. That's why I told you, like, in this era that we're in, it really is what I believe is the feminine revolution. And what that means is not just fucking, sitting down and like whatever, and then just hoping it all works out. No, it's a balance of the masculine and the feminine, but the feminine, the creativity. Got to be creative. So the more creative you can be, the more creative you can tell AI what to do, and you can have it do anything you need it to do. That's the thing. That's why I told you this week I was able to create the script for trading, creating a bot that's going to do the whole thing for me, because I already know the rules, right? So as long as you know your area of expertise, you know your area of domain, and what your whole thing is about, what your whole umbrella is about, creating content is just easy.
And he's been setting up all of this.
Yes, but I'm not doing this for anyone else. I'm creating a system and hiring people that will do this. I am not a content creator. I am not a music producer. I'm not any of that stuff. I'm an investor. I am an investor. I invest and I expect royalties and equities into what we're doing. So that's why we're doing this, okay? So we have these 10 right here. Easy, right? Now let's create the last 10, which are skits. And what you're going to do now is this is where you're going to do the whole 2-character simulation, okay? So let's put that up now. So
I'm looking forward to these.
yeah,
Fun.
exactly. Fun. People want to have fun. That's exactly right. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick out your outfits. You can also change your clothes as well, your top, if you want
No,
to.
I'm gonna put that poncho on.
Yeah, you could put the poncho on. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay, so now,
But even that is like nowadays you have shamanistas, which are female shamans. They come like with goddess dresses.
okay,
So,
so you can do that too. Do whatever you want to do. Okay,
oh, that feels comfortable.
okay. So now here we are.
It's like a big carpet.
Now remember that for the skit, you are enacting the skit in a multi-character way. Okay, so the way that this works is you're gonna be off camera intentionally.
So I gotta let out my schizophrenic identity now.
Pretty much. Okay, so you're gonna literally face this way. Your whole body, your feet, everything is gonna face me. Like imagine having a conversation with me.
Oh, that looks good.
I want you to face me. Good. Don't stand like really get yourself centered here. Right? But face me, face me, face me. Yeah, exactly. Now look at yourself in the camera. Okay? 1 second. Yes. So however you need to face, if you need to face in the center, think about the center of the light bulb, look and face in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. You look great. Okay? You do. Exactly. Own it. Okay, so the way that we're setting up these skits now, for our own references and for whoever else wants to do this, as long as you have a green screen, you have lights, you have a smartphone, easy peasy. You can do this so easily. So all you're gonna do here is you're gonna just imagine that you are talking to someone. Okay, you're gonna pretend like we all had an imaginary friend when we were kids. That's exactly what you're gonna do. All right, and for this skit, we have the things a fake shaman would say. So Hema is going to be playing character 1 and character 2 intentionally. Okay? Character 1 and character 2. Hema, what you're going to do is you're going to read character 1 line only. Okay? You're only going to, all right? So you're going to have to look at the thing. You're going to have to look at your lines, read them first silently, and then look back into the thing, into the light bulb, and then speak out your lines. Okay? Read silently, speak out loud. Read silently, speak out loud. Make sure that you're centered. Always make sure that you're centered with, imagine again, the softbox is a human or someone else that you're talking to. And then when you're on the camera, make sure that you're in the frame of the camera. Okay. The last thing we want to see is basically we go to the A roll, we go to start editing, and then you're not in there, like you're off beat, right? The only thing I do want to see, I really hope that in post, the green screen accepts and you don't look like, blotchy.
No.
So that's how we had it before. Okay. So remember, read silently, speak out loud. Okay. And when you read, you're obviously going to look at the monitor. When you speak, you're going to look at the softbox. So imagine like I'm here, we're talking, and you're going to do that. And you're going to do this from 11 to 16. And then 20. Yeah. 11 to 16. 11 to 16 and then 20, because there's some that ChatGPT produced that had nothing to do with shaman or life purpose or whatever. Okay. So actually, let me actually just delete that to make it even easier, because this has zero to do with what we're doing.
Imagine going to town with this outfit.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Yeah, do 11 and 12. And then I'm going to guide you also for the POV skit. So the POV is even a different frame as well. POV is different as well. Okay, so a POV skit versus a regular skit is also different in how they're structured. And we already went through this by looking at the previous pieces. So we also have that idea. So let's go with things a fake shaman would say, okay?
So I'm going to be character 1 now.
Yeah, you're only going to speak character 1. And then you're going to take off your shaman stuff. And then you're going to be character 2, which is just you and your regular identity. And then you're going to go from there.
Things a fake shaman would say. Oh, hold on. I need to speak that too. Let me delete this.
No, you're going to read the title, which is good. Read the title, because then I know in post what to do.
Yeah,
and
but I want to read the title facing the light.
no, you don't have. I mean, however you want to do it, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to put that in post. Okay, I just need you to say things a fake shaman would say so that I can reference the script.
Things a fake shaman would say. Yeah, I have been a shaman for like 3 weeks now. Yeah. TikTok. I bought a massive crystal yesterday. Basically the same thing.
No, okay, so that was already. Oh, sorry. Delete that and do that one again, please. Sorry about that. That was my fault. But that was good. Keep doing it. Character 1 only.
Yeah, which I did.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Things a fake shaman would say. Yeah, I have been a shaman for like 3 weeks now. Yeah. TikTok. I bought a big crystal yesterday. Basically the same thing.
Okay. And now wait, don't pause it. Don't.
Oh, I already paused it.
Okay. So you're going to keep that as one long piece, okay?
Oh, and the character 2 goes in the same video.
Yes. It's all going to go in the same video, okay?
Should we do it again?
Yeah, do it again, because I do not, that's going to create more of a challenge for me. Okay, so we got to think about that, right? So it's going to be one long take, and that's why I clip it, I edit it, okay? So also, the other thing too is think about the tonality, right? Think about the actual conversation. So, but they're basically, what how I see this is this person, character 1, is saying they've been a shaman, and they've been saying how long they've been a shaman for, right? And then character 2 is like, really, you've been a shaman for like 3 weeks? And then the character 1 is like, yeah. And then character 2 is like, well, who trains you?
Yeah.
Character 1, TikTok. And then the character 1 is like, character 2 is like,
For real?
yeah, it doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then character 1 is like now trying to defend and justify that by saying, I bought a crystal yesterday. And then character 2 says nothing. And then character 1 is like, basically the same thing, right? So something like that. Like think about that and think about how that conversation would go. And then
Basically the same thing.
it's like saying, this is their interpretation. Character 1, this is their understanding of what a shaman is, because most people don't understand what a shaman is. And this character 1 thinks that a shaman is someone that has crystals. And that's why character 1, he or she is basically saying the same thing when it's not the same thing. There's a completely different thing. And that's why the overlay of the text says real shamanic traditions often require years of training.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because most people don't understand that, and they're just like, oh, what do you do? You wave feathers and that's it? No, that's not what you fucking do as a shaman, right? So they don't even understand, and that's why, if you really think about this skit, that's what's basically happening here. This person thinks they're a shaman because they got a crystal, and they think that because they went on TikTok and they studied some videos that they're a shaman. And then character two is like, are you crazy? Right? And that's why they're giving them that look. Okay. So like the reason why I'm saying is because think about that interaction and think about how that would actually work in real life, right? Or in a real conversation, right? Like, so if I was saying this, right? If I was saying, yeah, I've been a shaman for like 3 weeks now. And then you would be like, 3 weeks? And then I say, yeah. And then you say, who trained you? And I say TikTok. And then you don't even have a response for that because it's just so absurd. It's just so stupid what I just said that you just have no words for it. And then I'm trying to justify it now because I'm reading off of your emotional tone, your emotional body language, that you're basically like judging me because I bought a crystal and I learned from TikTok how to be a shaman, but I really don't know how to be a shaman. You get what I'm saying? So like try to put that together the best way you can when you're doing the tonality. Keep the video in one long recording and just keep the camera rolling. And when you're actually done with character two's lines, then you stop the video completely. Okay. All right. Let's do it again. And let me know if you also need me to leave the room.
Things a fake shaman would say. Yeah, I have been a shaman for like 3 weeks now. Yes. TikTok. I bought a big crystal yesterday. Basically the same thing.
Okay. Now keep the camera going, keep the recording going, take off your outfit, and then now do character two's lines. That's really good though.
Three weeks. Who trained you?
Okay, good. Okay. So again, I'm emphasizing this as like the workflow. Maybe you think of a better workflow, but when I tried doing these skits myself and I was like, doing the shadow thing and the feminine part, to actually do that without a script and to just think about it off the top of my head, to do retakes, and it was so inefficient, right? It's so inefficient versus if I just had a green screen. If I did it like that guy Gabriel Sadie with the towel, the kid even had a towel and he was a different character and it was done, right? And it got hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views, some of them. That's what I'm talking about. So that's why we don't want to do all this stuff, right? We want to make it real easy, low effort, low energy. Just put it out there, okay? So this is pretty much the idea. You have your characters, you have your thing, do one long take, and you already have your, and this could have taken me, if I just came off with the top of my head, could have taken me 10 minutes. This took you less than 2. You understand? Now think about doing that 1,000 times, 10,000 times. It adds up, right? So we want to make, and this literally, like when you actually get in the flow of it, this is going to take you less than 30 seconds to do.
I always get amazed and surprised when we do the things that you set out to do.
Yeah. And again,
First, you just talk about it and you say, we're going to do this, 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 and this. And I'm just like wondering. And then we actually do it. It's like, wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. But that's the thing is it's hard because I see it in here, but I don't know how to like you have to just see it. You have to see how I see it, you know? But then after you see it, maybe you think of a better way. So this is hopefully this is a better way. Hopefully you have a better way. This is what I was doing. You know, I did it a much longer way for a couple of times just to get an idea. And then after this, we're going to write the working procedures and we're going to make sure that we have all the content. Let's go on to the next one. All right.
So, can I still use the same outfit?
Of course, you can use the same outfit because what we're also, this is also the purpose of having the green screen now. The green screen is to create a backdrop. So, so basically now it's like it's a completely different movie. It's a complete, and with sound effects and everything, it's a completely different piece of content.
So as long as we are at the shaman scripts, I can use the same outfit over and over.
You can use the same outfit over and over again.
Okay.
Same outfit.
All right.
All right. So you've already seen the workflow. Just do this the same thing over and over and over again.
Oh, my inner child likes that.
Yeah, exactly. Now have fun. Right. So for this is how it reads, right? So you may be the customer first. So this time you're the customer first. You're saying, hey, can I get an iced latte? Shaman goes, absolutely. Holds his hands over water. That's actually pretty funny. Customer says, this isn't coffee. Shaman, neither was your sleep schedule. Customer, what? Shaman, you don't need caffeine. You need balance. And then the customer, without saying anything, slowly lowers the cup. So get like a cup or something and use that, okay? Yeah, exactly. You get maybe I get you a cup from downstairs or something. All right. All right, but just think about that. Think about how this interaction would actually go in real time. You're saying the customer is saying, "Can I get an iced latte?" Shaman, absolutely. And then puts the hands over water. What? Um, whatever you need. Okay, so what I would do is I would take off the shaman outfit first. I would do all the lines for the customer first. Because remember, go by the order that you see it, and then skip the second character, and then that's how we do the long recording, okay? So it's all in one, and it's very easy for me to just navigate through. And I know that once we get the actual flow of this, creating the content is going to be even faster. And we should probably also invest into having like costumes. So, all right, go for it. Remember to be off center, right? Yeah, exactly. Right?
If a shaman worked at Starbucks, can I get an iced latte, please?
Now get your cup.
This is not coffee. What?
Yeah. So pause, delete, and then redo that one, right? And
Pause, delete.
sorry.
So we're not going to use this one.
No, we're not going to use this one, right? So think about this, right? Can I get an iced latte? You hold it, but make sure when you hold it high enough so that the camera can see.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. And then you're saying what? And then you lower the thing down.
Okay.
Try it again.
If a shaman worked at Starbucks, can I get an iced latte, please? This is not coffee. What?
Good. Okay. And now put the cup away and then put on your outfit. Yeah. And I don't know if you want to use the robe or not, but it's up to you. Yeah, yeah, you can do that too. So you're going to say absolutely. So anything in the quote mark, you're going to say it absolutely. And then you're going to hold your hands over water.
So I'm just going to put my hands like this or what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. However you want to do it. Just think about how the shaman would do it, right? And then just do it.
Absolutely. Neither was your sleep schedule. You don't need caffeine. You need balance.
And done. Okay, that's good. So now, sorry about that. So now if you look at this, right, what's going to happen is I'm going to edit all this up, right?
Starbucks.
Right? And we're going to do this as the first one.
Things a fake shaman would say. Ice latte, please. This is not coffee.
Yep. Good. Good, 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 good. Oh, but did you lower the cup?
So what if you
Okay, I don't see where your cup is.
I think I didn't use the cup.
shaman worked it?
I forgot where to use it.
Okay, let's. You want to do it again or not?
No,
If a shaman
I think that's fine.
Okay, so now we did the skits. Okay, so that's basically the workflow of the skits. Okay, I'm gonna make sure we document this or whatever for future use. But that's how this is gonna work. And then the POV. And again, if it doesn't make sense, if you think there's a better way, you tell me. But this is how I think it will be the fastest. And then for the POV, here's what we have here. The POV is a different thing. Okay, it's a different type of skit. Okay. And what you're going to do here is you're going to do like a talking head variation. Okay. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take off your shaman stuff and get your crystal hat, your crystal tiara thing. Okay. All right. So the way that this is going to work is like this. This is going to be a little bit different now. And how this is going to work is all you're going to do is you're going to like to explain this. Let me actually go over here. So you can get the visual look of this is you're going to read the title, POV, your soul finally gets service, right? And so you're here and you say hello, right? You're like, hello, I've been trying to reach you. You had signal for 7 hours on Instagram. Interesting. Okay.
So POV is also in the camera.
POV is also in the camera because it's like you're talking to someone. Okay. So the POV is the point of view, right? So the idea behind this is your soul is trying to get in contact with you, your higher self. Okay. So just imagine that. Imagine how that conversation would actually go. And what we're going to do is you're just going to look at the camera. You're going to look at the screen. You're going to read your lines. Okay. Hello, I've been trying to reach, but you're going to do it in such a way where you actually do this, speak this, read this, speak this, read this, speak this, read this, speak this, read this. Okay?
When you say read, you mean speak it out loud?
No, when I say read, I mean read it silently. Okay? Because what you're going to do is it's going to be one long take, and you're going to act as if you're actually talking, or so you're actually trying to communicate with your lower self, your human. Okay? So it'll be like, hello, I've been trying to reach you. And you're going to read in your head silently the person. Sorry, no signal. So you had signal for 7 hours on Instagram. You. Interesting. And then that's going to be it. Okay? So speak, read, speak, read. Okay?
Okay. And are we gonna, and then we're gonna do another one where
Yes.
do the you?
Yes. Exactly. Okay. So what you're going to do is, and that's also the next part too. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your hand up to the camera to block out you. Okay. So it'll be like this. This will be the whole thing. Hello? I've been trying to reach you. I'm reading internally. Sorry, no signal. You had signal for 7 hours on Instagram. I'm reading internally the pause. So I'm saying interesting. And then I'm going to put my hand up. And then I'm going to use the voiceover. You're going to speak now, you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no signal. Interesting, right? So that's what you're going to basically do.
Okay, so the you is no video.
Correct. Because that's the whole thing with the point of view. The point of view is you never see the person.
Oh, right, I remember that one. Yeah.
Okay? The point of view is you never see the person. You just hear a voice as if that is that person and there's someone in there, okay? So it's always going to be on you, and it's going to be a talking head you. Does that make sense? All right. So let's try that. And you're going to also make sure to keep the tiara on, but then put your hand to cover when you're speaking you, the you line, okay? All right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Let's try it.
But I'm gonna do the soul first and then the you, correct?
Correct. And when you do the you, put your hand up to the camera so that that alerts me and that lets me know, okay, I got to cut out the audio here and clip this to the right points. All right.
Your soul finally gets service.
Read that, do that again and just say POV, your soul finally gets service.
Say that again.
Read the full title, POV, your soul.
Okay. POV. Your soul finally gets service. Hello. I've been trying to reach you. You had signal for 7 hours on Instagram. Interesting.
Okay, no, yeah, exactly.
Sorry. No signal.
Perfect. Done.
Okay, that was 47 seconds.
Exactly. See, and that's eventually the pace we want to get to.
Okay, cool.
That's how fast we want that to be, okay? Now, fear meets the shaman, okay? So you're gonna hey, fuck it. Get a towel. Get a towel and put it over your head and act like you're like a little scared little punk or whatever, you know? Okay. There you go. Yeah, get the hat or something. Yeah. There you go. And you see, so the point of even documenting this on the live stream is to showcase how incredibly fast you can create content if you understand what you're doing. Right? It doesn't mean we're going to be it's gonna be, world class, it's gonna be perfect, whatever. But you're gonna really just you're playing around with your format to understand your audience and what your audience needs. Okay. All right. So whenever you're ready.
So this is fear.
Yes, there's fear, and then there's the shaman, which is the other outfit. So same thing how you did before now, because there's no POV. When it says POV, it's talking head.
Yes.
Okay, it's talking head. When it's like this, it's imagine there's a second. Exactly.
Okay, so the fear is with this outfit, and then shaman, I put the other one on.
Exactly. So you're gonna really get into that character of fear, speak the lines, long take, put the shaman stuff on,
Yes.
Okay?
So we're gonna start with the fear.
Yep. And remember, you're not looking at the camera, you're not facing the camera, you're facing the softbox. Okay? Because remember, you're talking to someone.
Fear meets a shaman. Don't go in there. Because that's where the pain is.
Hold on, stop.
Fear needs a shaman. Don't go in there. Because that's where the pain is. Wait. I don't like this conversation. No, I gotta do the shaman now. Why? Exactly. That's usually where the healing and the liberation starts. Done.
How was that? That was fun, right? Okay, great. So this is it. This is the format for us, right? And again, we're gonna do this for every long form video, and we can create thousands of variations for one long form. Okay, so the amount of content we can create is truly like a media company. So we have to really keep that in mind here. So great job with the costume, the outfit. This is where again we want to invest in the costumes and outfits, and we don't buy retail. We buy off of a SLP or whatever, and we just have a whole bunch of different costumes. You can get, onesies, you can get pajamas, you can get and you can be anything you want to be, right? Get little tiny things, and you can be a different character. Just one little thing, and you're a different character completely. Okay. Did you keep that thing on? No. No, you got to do it again because that's the same character.
Well,
Take
the fear had it over the head.
No. Keep if you're gonna do that, you're gonna keep one thing, take off the exactly. Okay. So you got to do that again. Okay. Because we want to create the illusion. Yeah, exactly. That's where you have to really get into that zone, right? We're already shortcutting it like super fast, right? But we don't want to get into that thing where we're deceiving like the illusion. It's that I think is deceiving. That's what it is. It's an illusion. You're just playing a role, right? So you're gonna do that again. And that's actually a good cadence. You let me know when you're done. I'm gonna go into the other room. Let me know when you're done, because we got to manage with the kid, and that's it. Okay.
Fear meets a shaman. Don't go in there because that's where the pain is. Wait, I don't like this conversation. Why? Exactly. That's where the healing usually starts. Done.
So just keep that in mind. When you are a second character, take off the first character's clothing completely.
Yeah, because it will confuse the viewer.
It will confuse the viewer, right? So if I was watching it, it would, and that's the other thing too. We're intentionally creating very short pieces of content because
ADHD audience.
yes, and because also too, in terms of again the metrics that I told you, with the YouTube stats, the analytics, the rewatchability, the watch time, the retention, all those stats that I shared with you some months ago. It's important because we want to make sure that if we're going to even just put a piece of content, we want to do some effort to at least get people to stay and watch the piece of content, right? That's the only way, right? So there's level 1 where it's like, okay, just post, yes. Level 2 is post aligned to your thing. Level 3 is like up your commitment to that piece of content so that you maximize the effort that you put into it, right? Well, obviously we're going to do a whole bunch of volume, but at the same time too, like think about this. This piece of content that you just like with your EFT video where it got 30,000 plus views on TikTok, just one of these can get over 1 million views. And it's just that 1 million view that takes it off to a new trajectory. That's what we're looking for, okay? So it's like every single time we're just hitting, pounding the rock, pounding the stone until the fucking thing breaks. That's all we're doing. Yeah. Okay. But we want to really make sure that for each piece, like I couldn't make it any easier. All you gotta do is just show up and speak it. Just put on the different costume and then that's it. Okay. Next one. Ego applies to be a shaman. Okay. Now for this one, get like
what came to me for the ego? I could use your eye cover thing that you use for sleeping. Would that make any sense?
yeah. The ego?
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Oh, but then how would I read if my eyes are blind?
Yeah. So this is a job interview. Okay. This is a job interview.
Good. I'd like to help humanity. Why recognition? No. Respect? No. Followers? Definitely no. Well, then what's the point?
Okay. So think about that. So I don't have a tie, but what you can do, you can get my blue shirt. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. And I'm also gonna put my hair back. Wow, I remember wearing these shirts back in the old days.
Okay. Now, here is. All right. There you go. Yes, that's good. That's good stuff. That's fun. All right, for this one only, you can have this up, right? Right. Yeah, exactly. And you're holding this out like this, right? And then you can give it to me by hand, and I can just take it from here, okay? And just make sure that you're showing that like you're handing it off, okay? Okay. So whenever you're ready.
The ego applies to be a shaman. I like to help humanity. Recognition. Respect. Followers. Well, then what's the point?
Okay. And now take off the interviewer, take off the ego, the blue shirt. Good. Yep. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Before you do that, now you're gonna take this and read it, right? Because I handed it off to you, right? You
Right.
handed it off to me, so now you read it, right?
Why?
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Nope. No. Definitely no. Done.
Do you see how fast that is now?
Yeah, it's not even 11 o'clock.
Exactly. It's not even 11 o'clock, and you already created 15 pieces of content. If we did 2 pieces of content a day, even a day, that's going to take
A week.
that's already 2 times with 714. That's already
It's 7 days. It's content for 7 days.
7 to 10 days
2 pieces.
with 2 pieces a day, 2 shorts a day. Now imagine we spent
Less than 2 hours.
exactly. Now imagine we did and you're just learning how to do this the first time.
Have a 40-hour work week and doing just that.
Exactly. And with AdSense as well, if we monetize through AdSense, this is also
We wouldn't do that for 40 hours a week, would we?
well, here's the thing. When I finish the trading bot, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create content full time. I'm going to create content full time. So we're going to be doing this full time. I want to get outfits. I want to get all that stuff. And I want us to get, when we get the new house, when we move to the new place, I want a dedicated room where it's just work room, content creation, all that stuff. All right. So now we can put that away.
Oh, is that the luminary? This is the last one we're coming to?
The last ones. Yeah, we got like 2, 3 more, 4 more or something like this.
Oh.
So we're at 16 and 20. Oh, last two. All right. This is it. Okay. Last 2.
So we have a person. Google said that. How do you feel Google did internet? Exactly. Okay, that's quick. So we just okay. Person is just gonna be me. I'm not gonna put any outfit on. Just
Okay, hold on a second. Let me leave here.
Google versus a shaman. Google says I have 43 different problems. Google did not ask me that. How do you feel? Exactly. Should I also do the last one now? Versus a shaman. Oh, and then we have soul and support.
Would you say you called me?
Yeah. I'm at the last one. Should I record it?
Yeah. So the same thing, right? So the same thing now. So now you're getting the hang of it, right? And you know the workflow. So yeah, you figure out how you want to do it.
So we have soul and support now.
So you remember two characters, two different outfits, and this should be the last one because he's already doing the milk sucking.
So we have soul and support. For the soul. So I know I used my tiara for the.
Choose whatever one. Choose whatever one. Get your phone. Get whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Okay, my inner child is having fun with this. That's good. So we are at the soul's customer support call. Hi, I would like to report a problem. My human keeps ignoring me. Yes, tried that. Yes, working on it. What's wrong? Have you tried dreams? Intuition? Gut feeling? Random fascination with shamans? Done.
Nice work. Now, the next one. The next one is yeah. So this will be it for now. I think this is pretty good. Let's now go back to sitting down.
I think he can just use the
Okay. Yeah. All right, I think that was a fairly good start. And we're just going to test the workflow now with these shorts. And that's the whole idea. So I think what we should do is get a bin and get like a whole bunch of like costumes or something, or like get like a rack in the future. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Okay, this is good. This is good. So what we're gonna do now is now we're gonna transition. Because now we already created about 20 shorts. So we now are gonna have to do the editing, right? So this is gonna be the process. And what we're gonna do. Yeah, please. Yeah, and you have your seat. Yeah, so we're off camera. Okay. Will you breastfeed? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Strong man.
Please give me the microphone. Actually, no, keep that on. We'll just keep them.
You're becoming a strong. It's pretty incredible how you plan and strategize and put it all together. And you did all of this research on your own, right? Or some of it just came to you.
Most of it just came to me honestly. But yeah, like so the way that my brain works, or the way that I do it is, I look at a piece of content, and then I ask myself, why did I stop to watch the piece of content? And then I keep studying it, right? So sometimes you may need to turn down the volume and just literally just look at what they're doing. Sometimes you may need to just close your eyes and listen to the audio. And then I'll ask myself, well, if I were to do that, how would I do that? And then I just think about where the camera is, I visualize it, and I say, okay, that, okay, that, okay, that, and then that's it. Okay? So, yeah, for me, it's very visual. It's a very visual process. All of this is a very visual thing. But yeah, still, you see, we got all that content. Now we have whole content. And here's the thing, too. Just because we have this, actually, let me sit down and share the other thing.
Did you just fart?
No, no, just my back hurts. Actually, no, from here. Honestly, doesn't matter. Let's go to.
So we can use those shorts for the personal brand too, right?
Yes. Yes. So we're going to actually talk about that in a second here.
So I can use them for TikTok if I wanted to.
Yes. Correct.
Mm. Milk high. Gonna let milk high. I love you, baby. I love you, baby. Your skin is so much better now. I think you may have been the chicken. You're about to poop. I know. You're gonna poop very soon. You're gonna poop very soon. Ready for some more? You're ready for some more? Okay. There you go.
You stand. You can use this microphone. Okay, so we just got 19 shorts. 19 shorts. If we did 2 a day, that's over a week of content. And it took us long today because we were figuring out like the initial pieces and like the workflow. But now you've already seen the workflow. So now you already understand like what we're trying to accomplish here. And I'm gonna walk because it's just easier for my hips and my back. One moment. Check. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, this is the workflow that we want to be thinking about for how we do this. So we just literally showed that within an hour we created 19 pieces of content. We have our whole content for the week. There's no need to create content every single day, nor would you want to, especially if you're doing this professionally. So what we want to think about is we create content in bulk for 2, 3, 4, 5 months.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, I thought you were just recording.
Yeah.
Do you want me to be at the microphone?
It's up to you.
Well, I don't see you if I speak on the microphone.
Okay, so let me go here.
Yeah.
Right? So this is basically what we want to be thinking about, okay? Can you say something?
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, cool. Okay. So you see your
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, so as I was saying, you see how easy that was to do that, right? That it couldn't be any simpler. That's all we have to do. That is all we have to do, and we just keep testing and iterating what's actually going to work, because we don't know, right? And that's why I said before, months ago, I'm not going to put my heart and soul into creating a piece of content because I don't know what's going to work. I don't want to get myself attached to it's got to be this way, and then what, you know? So that's why this creating content or document or whatever, content create, whatever you want to call it, recording, putting yourself out there, it's a process of discovery, and it's a process of knowing what your brand is about, where you're trying to go with it, long game, and investing into it. All right. So we want to be able to say that every single piece of content that we create 10 years from now is still applicable, right? It's still applicable to what our company, our mission, or et cetera is about. And again, at some point, you see how easy it was for you to literally just, all I had to do was just put you in front of the camera, you change out your clothes, and you just speak your lines, and then that's it. That's what we're trying to go for our personal brands. And then for lifepurpose.com, eventually we want to have other people speak their lines, and then that's it. Okay. Whether or not they want to create content on their purpose, I don't, whatever, does not matter. The only thing that I'm thinking of is eventually you want to outsource yourself from even that process. And that's why we create systems. That's why we think in systems, because we have to think, okay, well, if I'm trying to really do this seriously, what is it going to take? What is it going to take to create this amount of content? Because this is like it can be like a hamster wheel, right? But if we say we come here every week, every Sunday, 4 hours, you can get a lot done in 4 hours. You can get a lot done. And there's no need to be talking about like, well, I think it should be this color. I think this should be the brand color. No, that has nothing to do with the fucking brand. That has nothing to do with the brand at this stage, right? We're not that. We are here to show up, do the work, help people with their purpose. That's our brand. Okay. And like I just showed you, this is how we execute, right? So we said, okay, we're going to come at this time to this time. That was the first step, right? I got all the equipment, and we did for your birthday, we did that reveal, right? That was official, right? Then we got the little pieces that we were missing, and we said, okay, well, this is how this is going to work. Now we're uploading the long forms. Now we have the shorts, and obviously we have Regis. So we have to think a little bit more strategically now, right? So we can't just be like showing up every week and then not have anything to show for it. Therefore, we really want to think the first 2 hours of our live stream, we're creating content in bulk for like weeks ahead of time. The last 2 hours is when I would edit. But then at some point, we want to outsource the editing to someone that's going to do it. And then also at the same time, eventually outsource even that. Because then eventually at some point, you're going to have so much content, you're going to have so much audience, people watching you, whatever, that your focus has to go to other things, right? Actually creating an offer that people are going to want to invest in and be a part of. And that's why I also told you at this stage, again, I don't see courses as the secret sauce.
No, neither
They're
do I.
they're worthless. To me, I would never spend money on a course ever again. You know, I would spend money on a container where it's for several months and there's an end result or a transformation.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I
A
honestly
transformation to higher consciousness.
exactly. And that's where I think a majority of people are going to go into the
Online
ones
and offline.
online and offline. It's
Yeah.
it's a container, whether it's like a boot camp weekend warrior experience, or it's like a 3 month in the woods, or it's, you know, building a personal brand. You're with them for 1 year, 6 months, whatever. It doesn't matter. I think that's where people are going to go, especially again, because we have AI here at this stage. We have just shown and documented for everyone to see. There's no secret. I'm not hiding it. No one's hiding it. We just created a whole bunch of content that was scripted for us with AI. We put your human face on it. Why can't anyone else do that? I'll tell you why someone else cannot do that. Most people will not be able to do that because they, number one, lack the systems. Two, emotional regulation, right? So there that inner conflict, the internal state, but that's also that's the brilliance of what we can offer together. You know,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
being in a good internal state, being emotionally regulated. We've gone through all these years of the psychedelics, of, you know, the internal work, the EFT tapping, all this stuff that we've been doing over the years, on top of the logical, masculine, analytical. Here's the systems. Here's how this is going to work. You need a step-by-step process. What's our step one? What's our step two? What's our step three? Okay, so that's our process basically. So 19 pieces of content. We're gonna edit this. We're gonna put it up there. It's gonna be very quick. And I don't even know how to apply the green screen chroma, but I'm gonna figure this out. So that's what I'm gonna spend the next hour and 15 minutes on, figuring out the green screen, whatever. And then eventually, when we have more cash flow, positive net cash flow, that we would have to then pay someone for their time so we can buy back our time, that's what we have to do, right? So eventually we want to outsource to some editor, right? And eventually maybe a full-time editor, maybe a full-time this, right? Because I'm not going to be editing videos for the rest of my life. We don't also want to be doing this process for the rest of our lives. We want an assistant. We want to have the documentation, tell them what to do, an AI generalist. Maybe we hire an AI generalist, someone that, you know, can follow the working procedures, whatever. And that's pretty much the whole process from here. Does this make sense what we did? Okay, good. So now if you think about a better way to do it, by all means suggest it, but this was how I've seen it, right? And this is version 1, how we did it today. It was long, but look at how fast it was to record it once you understood how to do it. It was very fast, right? And that's 19 pieces of content. I'm sure we're going to get to the point where we can do 19 pieces of content in less than 30 minutes. So that's going to be really good. Now imagine if we do 100 pieces of content in one live stream. That's what we want to go for. And what I'm seeing already from how we were doing some things is I would like to get like a clothing rack, or like some sort of like another thing like this from IKEA, where we can put costumes on, or like a bin, or like a plastic bin or something we can put the costumes on. And we can get toys now, because we have, you know, Regis and Soraya. We can get we can get prop hats, we can get a whole bunch of stuff, right? And of course you've got your clothes, you've got all that stuff. Even a towel. Like even a towel is just more than enough, right? But if we want to make it like extra fancy pants, we can go to this LP and get whatever we want secondhand, and we won't pay the retail, whatever, and we can reuse that over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, and later on we can give those costumes to the kids
Exactly.
for their parties.
Exactly. So it's really endless. you can create content like really endlessly. So we've already shown that. So again, if we're doing that, if we're already creating content like that at that fast, what stops someone from doing that? No one. But most people are still in especially like older generation, right? Generations older than us, they're probably still thinking, well, I gotta think about the name of the thing. I gotta think about how I'm gonna do this. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Right? Just do it. So that's where we are. Any questions on anything? Does that workflow make sense how we did everything?
Yes.
I can tell from when you were doing it, like you started to get really excited and you lit up and it was joyful for you.
Yeah, I was nurturing my inner child.
Yeah, it was fun for you, right? To do the skits and all that. So good. So there you go. So find some things that you enjoy and then do that. Do more of that. And that's exactly what we want to be thinking of for having a business, right? We want to outsource to the things that we don't want to be doing or that we're not good at. Or I'm sorry, and not good at. So we want to be outsourcing things that we don't want to do and things we're not good at. We want to focus on only what we can do, and that's it. That's always going to be it. And that's ultimately going to be you in your zone of genius. Okay? And if you had fun with recording the arrow. Yeah. And if you had fun recording the A-roll, that's what we can look forward to, right? So again, throughout the week, you could even say, hey, ChatGPT, write me some scripts about purpose, whatever. You can literally take a screenshot from your phone. We're on the Life Purpose page, right? You say, hey, this is my brand. This is my brand statement or whatever. Now help me create, and this is the life purpose of a shaman. You could even get the transcript from the Life Purpose of a Shaman. You could say, this is the video. We want to create 100 pieces of content on this. Give me like 100 titles. And then you just generate the scripts, right? So it's in stages, right? It's in little pieces. But yeah, you can just do this on your own, you know? It's just step-by-step process. And then ChatGPT generates it for you. And then you come here on a Sunday and then you record it, right? So like you had written out some script ideas before for the long forms and you said, oh, but we didn't get to use that. ChatGPT didn't put any of that. Well, that's where you got your shorts now. That's where the shorts come in now. And you can do the educational style where it's just talking head. You can do now the POV. You can do now the humor thing, right? The characters. And you can do all those pieces however you want to do them. So just to give you ideas, and this is the first workflow, we're going to keep on going. If you find more content formats, content topics, formats that you want to highlight, by all means you can. But otherwise, like that's going to be it. And so in the future, what we're going to be doing, because we already know what the brand is about, we already know what kind of content we want to create. All we have to do now is just create the content. Right. And again, we're not going to script it. So next week, we're going to it's just going to keep adding up. But what we're going to have to do, because 1 week is like today, I was already supposed to work on the long form. Right. So it's not going to work to do a long form every 2 weeks and then strategize or whatever. So we may have to change the frequency. So maybe next week I work on the script, on the editing the long form. Today we recorded the A-roll. There's not enough time to edit and then upload the long form for today, right? So we have to think now more strategically about our time. So it's either we outsource to someone and pay them cash, or we have to do the work ourselves, right? And again, this is where I said we have to really manage our resources because we don't want to inflate our lifestyle and then we have even more work to do.
I'm just wondering if we would hire someone maybe from the Philippines, etc.
It's still going to cost you money.
Yeah, but it may not be a lot. It may be
still going to cost you money regardless. People, and also too, at the same time too, labor is I think catching up globally. Like, prices are catching up globally or something like this. So regardless, we're still going to need to pay, whether it's, someone from the Philippines, someone from the UK, is still going to cost money regardless. So we have to think about this, right? And usually what you want to do is, unless you have expendable income or you're generating profit from your thing, from your business, you want to be, unfortunately, doing this yourself until you can manage that, right? But again, this is where we have to think a little bit more carefully about how we're doing things. So now that we've gone through this part, here's the next thing. Moving forward is we're going to have one live stream is going to be really dedicated towards scripting. Another live stream is going to be dedicated towards recording. And then another live stream is going to be dedicated towards editing. Mm-hmm. That's the best way that I can do this. So it's like going to be a 3-week process for everything. So we scripted last time, we recorded this time. Next time we edit. Mm-hmm. We record, we script, we edit. We script, record, edit. Script, record, edit.
Upload when we edit?
Yes. Yeah. So we edit in bulk, and then we upload in bulk, and we schedule it out. Okay? Yeah. So everything that we did today, you're going to see it live. I'm going to see if I can get the green screen going. I don't know how to use the green screen. I don't know how to apply the green screen effect. So I have to learn that. So that's another skill, right? So it takes time to learn that. But after I learn that, I will edit the video, and then we'll start testing it out and seeing how it goes. So that could take, again, some time. So next week we're looking to edit. So this is going to be the end of the live stream, okay? And I'm not going to be editing. My back hurts a lot and I need to rest. But this was a good start. So it's going to be, and this is for our reference as well, script, record, edit. We're going to script in bulk. We're going to record in bulk. We're going to edit in bulk. Okay? So the hardest part is already over now. We already did the compass. We already know our brand. We already got the system, everything, the workflow, everything. Okay, good. Now it's just this part. Okay? And this is going to be the repeating part. And that's why we want to make it as easy as possible. Okay? Does this all make sense now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Any questions about any of this?
No, thank you for today.
All right, good. Hope you had fun. Good job today. You did great. And
Did you have fun?
yeah, it was good to see you smile and have a good time. And now I want for you to think about like your costumes and things like this. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We could even create a character universe, like, So just think about that. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for today.